And so we get to the big one, the massive one, the almighty Jurassic World. Jesus Christ. It's a movie which has been trailed and teased for the best part of 100 years. It is the long-awaited sequel, reboot, reimagining of Jurassic Park. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. I don't even think the movie itself knows what it wants to be. It's directed by Colin Trevorrow, who previously directed Safety Not Guaranteed, which I think is a slogan they should just start printing out on anything to do with Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. Just put that in the brochures, in the flyers and the pamphlets whenever they go in there. Because who in their right mind would want to go to Jurassic Park or Jurassic World? You're almost guaranteeing yourself a premature death, for Christ's sake. But in any case, the movie stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Irrfan Khan as our Jeff Goldblum surrogate, a bunch of crappy child actors, and enough CGI to break up anything I can't possibly think of a witty joke, so we'll just move on. The story is that in a bid to boost attendance to the park, the scientists at Jurassic World decide to create a new dinosaur, because creating dinosaurs has gone oh so very well for them in the past. As is a way of things, the dinosaur gets loose and all kinds of wacky shenanigans occur. People die, people get crushed and horribly murdered in the most ridiculously over-the-top ways, and I leave the cinema feeling ever so slightly gutted by the whole entire thing. This is a movie that actively tries to distance itself from the original movie. Normally what you get in reboots or reimaginings of movies is you get references to the previous movie. Like in the Annie reboot reimagining we had towards the start of the year, we have a scene where you have the classic-looking Annie girl kind of making a wink and a nod to the new Annie girl taking over for it. With this, you get constant references, logos, pictures to the original Jurassic Park, which are almost constantly destroyed or berated or thrown here, there and everywhere. I can't go into detail on some of them because it's spoilers, but there is one moment where someone wears a Jurassic Park t-shirt and leads to wacky banter, talking about corporate branding and sponsorship and how horrible all that stuff is, whilst the character holds a Starbucks coffee cup quite visibly in their hand. Good grief, this movie is just dumb schlock. Over-the-top, silly schlock. The kind of thing that Roger Corman would be oh so very proud of. And if you thought Chris Pratt riding on a motorbike with raptors running alongside him as his wing pilots was silly and over-the-top, blimey Charlie, wait till you get to the final quarter of this movie where the movie officially jumps the T-Rex. There's one moment within this movie where the movie effectively lost me, pretty much killed any enjoyment or any goodwill I had to the movie full stop. It's around midway through, it's kind of a spoiler, but given just how ineffectual it is, it's not really anything much. A character dies and is killed off in a ridiculously over-the-top and grisly way for no real reason. It's not really a named character, it's not a character you spend any time with, a character that isn't developed at all. She has about 4 appearances within the movie up to that point, and then she's killed off in a ridiculous, over-the-top, stupid way. And it feels oh so, ooh, that's cruel, that's very mean-spirited. Because it's a character who isn't a bad guy, they're not horrible, they're just doing their job and they're killed off in a ridiculously over-the-top way. I suppose if they were the bad guy, then we'd be there like, haha, they got their comeuppance in the end. But it isn't, just an innocent bystander that gets caught up in this, killed in a horrible way, and it just makes you feel horrible and uncomfortable for the rest of the movie. And that in itself kind of highlights what's wrong with the movie. So much of this movie is trying to be spectacle, so much of itself is trying to do these big, over-the-top, fantastical things, whereas at the heart of it, very little of it is actually developed or evolved in such a way in which you can actually legitimately care, or even find any kind of positive emotion to come out of it. I'm sure that some of the action set pieces will amaze some people. For me, it kind of feels a bit limp and a little bit, So when we get to big, horrible, nasty things, you don't really feel anything for them once again. I mean, once again, this death in particular is just so ridiculous. You just expect a little combo bar to appear at the side of the screen like you see in those fighting games. Even the bad guy, the main bad guy to this movie, doesn't get off in such a grisly and over-the-top way. The bad guy is just chomp, blood splats, that's it. This person they're thrown into the air, eaten up, spat out, God knows what else. Ridiculous, over the top, but totally unsubstantial of anything. The movie is just, it is in the biggest way that I can possibly do so, despite the best efforts of the cast. Chris Pratt is fine and dandy. He does the action man thing fine, but that's all he is. He doesn't really have any wacky banter, not like the trailer suggests. The love interest character is the love interest character. She feels as though she's just walked in from a movie from the 80s or 90s. So when we see the Amblin logo, it makes it feel that little bit more apt, seeing as that logo has not changed in seemingly 100 years. Irrfan Khan as a Jeff Goldblum surrogate is fine and fun. I wish I was in the movie more, because at least then there would have been a little more character to proceedings. At the end of the day, oh no, I also have to point out the kids in this movie are just horrible. The kids are terrible in this movie. There's a subplot about a divorce that goes absolutely nowhere. A subplot that has no point being in a movie about giant killer dinosaurs, for Christ's sake. Yet it's there pretty much for the entirety of the movie, popping in and out to remind you, oh yeah, remember, see this big fantastical world full of wonder and amazing things where science could do practically anything? Forget that. Let's go back to the crushing reality that is real life, where people get divorced and horrible nasty things happen to good little kids. Good luck, kiddies, as you go outside to buy Jurassic Park t-shirts and lunchboxes. Oh dear me. I know people who are fans of the series will probably get more out of this than I ever would do. At the end of the day, I just found it very, very naff. Grim, grotty, commercial naff. And I'm sad to say that I'd have loved to have loved this movie, but